One of the ways that we can approach this, of course, a very systematic way, if someone is asking these big questions, then you can look at it and say, okay, the first, maybe most fundamental question someone can ask is, does God exist in the first place? Is there a God? Does God exist? And, there's several arguments for God. Is anyone familiar with an argument for God's existence? An argument, by the way, is a technical word in philosophy that means like a set of premises that lead to a conclusion, like A, B, therefore C. It's a deductive argument. So arguments for God's existence, one could be like the cosmological argument. This talks about cosmology, or the beginning of the universe. How could there be a universe if there wasn't a being that's transcendent or outside of the universe that brought it about, that created the universe? Or other arguments like the moral argument for God and so on. So there's a lot of arguments that we can give for God's existence. And it's good to know these because, if you encounter anyone that doesn't believe in God, it's good to share these things with them. And then the second question would be, let's say I am convinced that God exists. Now the question I can ask is, well, which God is it? There's hundreds of millions of God. I think just within Hinduism alone, there's about 300 million gods. But instead of saying, okay, I have to go and disprove every single God and find out which God it is, the actual God, the way we look at it is categories of theism. Theism is the belief in God, and that there's categories of theism. Monotheism is the belief that there is only one God. And we can give very good arguments for why there can only be one God. One of the ways actually that you define God is the ultimate being. And you can't have more than one ultimate being, otherwise he wouldn't be the ultimate being, right? So if God is the ultimate being, he has to be only a singular being. So we can show that polytheism, pantheism, panentheism, all of these categories of God, are not sound. And so monotheism is the most sound belief. The question after that is, okay, well, which monotheistic God? And the three main options that we have are Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. Those are the three major world monotheistic religions. And again, we can give arguments for why. I'll do it briefly today just to show how we can show that the Christian religion is true and the Christian God is a true God. But the question after that, let's say I'm convinced of Christianity. Now the next question is, well, which form of Christianity? Right now, in the very beginning, in the first century, there was only one type of Christianity. You're either Christian or you're not Christian. Now there's so many forms of Christianity. So the question we can ask is, which of these is most faithful to the original church in the first century? And the three major groups or branches are Orthodoxy, Roman Catholicism, and Protestantism. Again, this, like earlier, I was speaking about relativism or a subjective truth. Like you can say, well, this religion is true for you, but this other religion is true for me. This, again, is the idea of religious pluralism, that maybe all religions are true. It really doesn't matter. Just live a good life, and it doesn't really matter what you believe. But of course, we can't believe this because there are a lot of contradictions between religions. Like in Islam, for example, it says that Jesus Christ is not God. And in Christianity, we say Jesus Christ is God. He either is God or he's not God. And so because of the law of non-contradiction, we know that not all religions can lead to God. Not all religions can be correct. Christ said in John 14, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.